Opal Tower and Mascot Towers are the most obvious symbols of the building defects crisis that is gripping New South Wales and particularly Sydney. I don't use that term lightly. It is a crisis. A recent study by Deakin University found that 97% of New South Wales buildings had defects in them, with an average of 16 defects per building. This is significantly higher than the 74% of buildings in Victoria and 71% of buildings in Queensland with defects. Even Bronwyn Weir, one of the authors of the significant Shergold Weir report, has said that she herself would not purchase a newly built apartment. This is an issue that has been bubbling along under the surface for a very long time. However, there has been a significant financial incentive in apartment owners staying silent on the defects plaguing their buildings. But the mass evacuations at both Opal and Mascot have thrown them into the public discussion, giving the issue the media attention it deserves. The cases of Opal and Mascot have different challenges. As is appropriate, the developer at Opal has so far spent $27 million in remediation works and providing residents with emergency accommodation. However, 9 months on, 20 apartments are still inaccessible, with 12 residents still in alternative accommodation. Right. It is clear that these are issues that take a long time to fix. The residents at Mascot face a very different challenge. The building is a decade old. They face a lengthy legal battle with their insurance company and also possibly their developer and even others. They have already been out of their homes for more than 3 months. The devastating emotional effects of this were explained by residents of Mascot Towers to our Upper House inquiry into the building industry. The financial impact has been equally devastating. The cost of the first stage of rectifying the defects, which took some time to establish, is now approximately $7 million. There will be more repairs required. But the initial stage will cost each unit owner between $5,000 and $14,000 each per month. A survey of the residents conducted by the Strata Committee has shown that 35% of owners have no ability to raise the money. They have sought personal loans, loans from friends, to refinance using another property, to use their own savings, and to refinance using their current Mascot Towers property. They are in a desperate situation. In addition to their home, this is their major financial investment. Many residents have indicated that their banks have cancelled or refused to meet once they realised they were owners at Mascot. And time is imperative. The Strata Committee has advice that the repairs must be undertaken before summer or else the building itself may become commercially unviable. The Mascot residents have made multiple appeals for help from the New South Wales Government. They have met with the Minister, written follow-up letters, and this week came to Parliament to plead for help. Instead of listening to their pleas, they were accused by the government of a deliberate strategy to force their hand. While the government has provided the residents with financial assistance for emergency accommodation, they have stubbornly refused to address the longer-term issues. The residents themselves acknowledge they will pursue their insurance and other options, but they need help now. The government must act now. And the behaviour from the Minister this week was appalling. Right. But should we expect better? In budget estimates, we saw a Minister clearly out of his depth and unable to address the clear crisis that is occurring. Indeed, this government's approach to building defects and regulation has been characterised by delays and mismanagement. They received the Lambert Review in 2015 and haven't acted. They finally rushed through legislation late last year, but it still isn't in force. They've appointed a building commissioner, but forgotten the commission. As for the response to Shergold Weir, well, I'm not holding my breath. While they fail to act, uncertainty is breeding. This does not bode well for the construction industry more generally, a key driver of the New South Wales economy. Property sales in Olympic Park have plummeted in the wake of the Opal Tower evacuation. Banks are re-evaluating their risk profiles, tightening lending regulations for apartments, particularly in certain suburbs. These are symptoms of a broad and pervasive issue that needs to be addressed now. The government needs to give the Mascot residents a low-interest loan to begin repairs, but also to send the message to the industry that they are serious about starting to address building defects in New South Wales.
Justin.